Hello everyone! Welcome back to the Midwest Stitches YouTube channel. My name is Danielle and this is my channel all about crafting. Today is Tuesday, March 5th, 2024, and we have so much to talk about. February was such a crazy crafting month for me. That's the only way that I can put it, is I just apparently had so much mojo for crafting, and I did a few different things. There's some crochet, some knitting, I did some sewing, macrame. I've never done macrame before. We'll talk about why. I did that here in just a bit when I go over that stuff. And yeah, so let's grab a drink. I've got some iced coffee. It's the afternoon, just a little bit left, and drink or snack or whatever, and let's catch up. So you can find me on Instagram at midwest.stitches, or on my website at midweststitches.com, or on Ravelry at midweststitches. And I haven't mentioned it in a few episodes, but in case you're new, we do have a year-long make-along going on called the hashtag Made from Stash 2024. That is for all crafting projects: knit, crochet, sewing, embroidery, cross-stitch, English paper piecing, any of that stuff. As long as you're using supplies or stuff that's been in your stash since the end of 2023, that and before, then it counts. And for that, I've decided that initially I wasn't really sure. I've been thinking of how often I wanted to draw prizes, so I think I'm going to do quarterly prizes, and I'm going to do a few, so probably 3 to 4 winners, and we'll just kind of do a mix. I'm thinking I have some physical prizes that have been donated and some that I have put in there. And I think we'll do some pattern prizes too. So you'll be able to pick a pattern on Ravelry that you want, up to $10 US. And that will be your prize. Okay. So I think that's it for the stash make along. I have all of the details down below on how to enter below the video in the description box. It'll be in every video for the whole year. So in case you're wondering the links or anything like that, it's down there. It has all the rules. Not that there are a lot of rules, but it'll have all the details down there. All right, let's get into finished objects. There are so many. Like I said, February was definitely a crazy crafting month. It's like that one extra day that we get on a leap year. It like made the difference. I don't know what to say. It just was nuts. Okay, so the first finished object I have is my Sugar Rush socks that I showed these the last time. They are done. There is the pair. Oh, I love these so much. And I love how each of them, like the pink, kind of the striping is different on each. This one, the pink blocks are a little bit bigger than this one. I love them so much. These are so fun. The colors are amazing. And this is from Stitchin' with Yarn on Etsy. So you can find that there. This is one of her Valentine's colorways. And for all of the socks that I'm going to talk about, I normally knit them on 2mm needles, 64 stitches. And this shorty recipe that I do is just an 8-round cuff, 4 rounds for the leg, and then I started with the heel flap. So we'll just get all that out of the way now. Okay, so there's the first pair. And then my second pair, obviously you guys hadn't seen unless you follow me on social media. But I finished another pair of socks for me. It's heavy on the stuff for me this month. And here they are. This yarn is Cherry Cordial from Yarnable. And this was from 2 or 3 years ago, I believe. I think this was 2021. And I love this colorway so much. I made a gift pair of these last year with half the skein, and then I saved the other half for myself. And they're just amazing. I love it. This bit right here with the different shades of brown, it reminds me of fudge rounds. If you ever ate those cookies from the store, the Keebler fudge rounds, that's what it looks like to me. So I love the color pooling. Obviously, it's like the Sugar Rush socks. It looks different on both of them, as you can see. And I'm so happy with them. I love them so much. So far I have not been disappointed with any of the Yarnable socks that I've made for myself. I'm really loving this 85-15 base, and I think it's because, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it's a 4-ply 85-15. So I really enjoy that. So there's those. And for my last pair, I just finished these last week, I think. Yeah, I think I finished these right before the end of February. And they're my last pair of Valentine's themed February socks that I had planned in my mind that I wanted to do. I had certain ones picked out. And so I did accomplish all of those. Did get them all done. And there they are. I did show this yarn a couple episodes back. So this is Vintage Valentine from Daisy Stitch Co. And it was from her sock set box from last February, which the sock set box has been discontinued. So I still have some of these sock sets left. But this came with 2 mini skeins. I just didn't use them. I'm just going to put those into a blanket or something because I just liked the way the colors looked. And it's there. That's a little better. I just really loved it. It's very muted, and you've got some purples and grays, and there's just a splash of pink in there, and I really love that. So those are done. 3 pairs of socks for this month, or for last month, I should say. Okay, my next finished object I'm going to show you is a sewing one. So I made myself a new purse. I haven't used my industrial sewing machine in a while, and I saw this pattern. It's been out for a bit, but I was dying to make it and use some of my vinyl fabric that I have. So here it is. So this is a rust-colored vinyl, and I used light gold hardware, and including the zipper tape, and it's got 2 zipper pockets on each side. There's a magnetic snap with a flap, and then there's a zipper pocket here, and then this kind of it's like a silvery, it was just some fabric that I got on the clearance rack at Joann's years ago, and I've used it in bags before, like project bags, and I thought it would go good with this. Even though I'm using gold hardware, I don't think you can really, it's on the inside so you can't really tell that it's silver, but I don't mind mixing and matching silver and gold. That's just me. So for this is the Aries crossbody bag, and I did not make it crossbody. It's supposed to have, what do you call it? Swivel hooks. It's supposed to have swivel hooks here for the handle so you can make an adjustable crossbody strap. For mine, I just wanted a shoulder bag, and so I just used rivets and put that on, and then I just altered the pattern strap to make it short for how I like it. So I'll stand up just a bit. So it comes down like this, and I am really loving it. I just wanted something that was a little bit more, a little bit more chic and modern, and yeah. So I figured I would try that pattern out. It's a pretty easy one if you are into making bags, and you can definitely make this with a lighter vinyl. This was kind of a thicker vinyl, or quilt cotton, or just anything like that. And you can definitely make the crossbody strap on it as well. For my next finished object, which I will consider it finished, even though we haven't hung them up yet, technically. So I did some macrame. So I made 10 of these curtain tiebacks. So this is just very basic. It's just, as you can see, it's just a braid. It's just 9 strands braided together. You do the closure at the top. And I followed a video for this. It wasn't in English, but I understood what she was doing, and it was very close up. You could follow along to see how it's done. The only thing I had to do was convert centimeters to inches for the length of each of the cords that you use, the pieces. No big deal there. And these are going to go in our living room because we have curtains down there. Upstairs we have blinds, downstairs we have curtains. And so these are just going to be cute little decorative tie backs that we're just going to have a hook on the window frame and just tie them back. One thing I did do with these, just as kind of, I guess me being overly cautious, is right here at the top where you cut off the excess threads. I put some glue. I put some liquid, or no, not liquid stitch. I used this stuff. I have 3 of these pens. They're like this. And you just squeeze it out. So I have 3 of these. So I figured I would just use these just to kind of secure the top part. And then on some of them I did down here because there's a little bit that you snip there too. So I did that, and just to make sure that they didn't fall apart on me and I wouldn't have to make any more again. That's it for finished objects. That's quite a bit for the month. I surprised myself with how much making that I did. So I don't even know where that came from. It was just like this huge burst of energy. It might have to do with the fact that we had some really nice weather here for like 2 weeks. It was in like the 60s and 70s, and it was sunny and just amazing. And now we're back into like the 50s and 60s, and it's been kind of like on and off with the sun. So it's not the brightest start to March, but we'll get there. Okay, so let's go into works in progress. I have a few to show you and a few to update you on. So the first one I'm going to start with is, we're going to talk about a failed one real quick. Not failed, I don't want to say failed, but one that I'm redoing. We'll go with that. So I started out with my March socks. I've been wanting to use this for a while. Another one from my Yarnable stash. This is a March Yarnable from a couple years ago called Shenanigans. It's just a beautiful white speckled yarn. It's got purples and greens, and it's amazing. Here's what it looks like, kind of knit up. So I did start a sock, but as you can see, I took out the needle. So I'm going to redo these later in the month and knit them up. So I started out, I was experimenting with a kind of a modified version of a modified shadow wrap heel. I don't really want to get into the details, but I was doing that, and I just didn't like the way that it was fitting my foot after I knit past the heel just a bit. So I decided that I'm going to frog those and start over. I'm still going to make them, but they'll just be different. So there's that one. I did start off the month with that. And then I also, for my next work in progress, I did finally, actually this was at the end of February. I think I started this the last day of February. So I finally started the Musselburgh hat that I got the yarn for quite a while ago. This is yarn from Kimber's Cozy Creations, and it's called Scarlet. And I cannot wait to have this to wear next year. I am currently working this on Magic Loop. I had it on 16-inch circulars, and I've had it on a few different needles, and we'll see how it ends up being knit, because it has more stitches than the Wallop cowl. So I could knit it on 16-inch circulars because there would be more fabric for me to move around, but I don't know. I'm still on the fence about that. So I'm hoping to have more of this done by the end of the month. Maybe have the entire hat done. I don't know. That's what I'm shooting for, because after this cowl and the cowl that I finish and this hat, those will be the last kind of bigger projects, or I should, not bigger. Those are more like medium-sized projects to me. So those would be the last kind of medium-sized projects that I think I'm going to do for this year. From, just how I'm feeling now, it'll mostly be working on my blankets and socks. Just because that's kind of what I'm feeling right now. My 2 blankets that I have going right now are 2 that I really want to get done this year. I don't want to carry them into another year. And I think with the pace that I'm going at, which I will talk about here in a minute, I could feasibly have them done by August. That's kind of my goal. So we'll see how it all plays out, how the rest of the year goes. I could change my mind. I could want to make more hats. I could want to make whatever. I might make a top or a tee or something, but right now I don't have any plans to knit any garments. I have some in mind that I want to knit and yarn for that, but it's probably not going to be this year. All right, now we're gonna get into, now that we talked about those, we're gonna get into the blankets. I'm gonna update you on each of those. So the first one I'm gonna show you is the crochet one. This is the granny square, giant granny square blanket. I did finish off another skein of yarn last month. So I'm not gonna stand up, but this, you know, this is the end of the round right here. So there's that. It is getting very big, as you can see. It covers my lap pretty decently when I work on it. So this is all cotton yarn stash, fingering weight held double that I have. It's just a bunch of cotton or cotton blend yarn that I got from Joann's. That's fingering weight that they had a while back. I don't know that they still have that, but it's the Big Twist brand. And I have like, oh, let's see how many skeins I have left. I have 6 skeins left to add into this blanket. So I have not started adding in a new one just yet, but that's my goal, is to get one added each month. And I am magic knotting them. I am only doing minimal yarn management in that, like, as it gets bigger, if I can't complete a round and there's a lot left, like say I can only get through half of the last round, I'm gonna just frog it back to the previous round and finish it off there and just toss the rest of that yarn, not even worried about saving it for anything. That's kind of the only yarn management that I plan on doing, just so it kind of has a cleaner look between each of the colors, because right now they're kind of all blending together, so I haven't really had to do that except for with the yellow color. That's the only one that I had to go in and just a tiny bit of yarn that I couldn't finish off with and magic knot it. So with that, I am, like I said, I am magic knotting them, and I am using liquid stitch on the knots. So what I do, I think I use too much. So what I do is, when I finish with a color or two, I will go back, find those magic knots, and I will lay it out on the table, and I will put a little bit of glue on it, let it dry overnight, and then it's fine, and I can work on it the next day. So those little liquid stitch bottles, I did get those in a 3-pack at Joann's. I would not recommend that, and this is why. I found that same little bottle, one of them, at Walmart for $1. So if you go into the sewing section, or the craft section, I guess it would be now, on the end of the aisle, not the end cap, but like where they have, you know, like stuff hanging up at the end of the aisle, they have those. For one of them for $1. I paid more than $3 for the 3 that I had, even with a coupon. So definitely, if you're wanting liquid stitch and you don't want the giant bottle, because I didn't want that. I felt that that was kind of unnecessary. So I got the 3-pack because those are easier to toss in multiple bags if you wanted them in multiple projects. But you could easily get 3 of them for $3. You have 3 tubes, and you can just throw them in, you know, if you want it in a blanket bag or some other bag, or just to have around for other things. To me, that's way easier to deal with than the huge heavy tube, especially if you're like me and you carry your bags around the house and you don't want to add the extra weight to it, or maybe you're a person that travels with your projects more, you just don't want anything to add more weight to the project bag, or at least I don't. So my last project that I want to update you on is my jelly roll blanket. My DK jelly roll. I have made so much progress on this, you guys. It is coming together, and I'm very happy about it. So I did finish the second strip. This was the second one. I'm sorry, this was the second one. No.
No, the yellow was the second one. Oh, which one was the second one?
Okay, so first strip, second strip, and there is where I finished it off. I actually did run out of yarn right here at the tail end, so I had to grab a mini that matched to finish it off. And now I am on the third strip. This is going to be such a wild looking blanket. It is going to be so crazy and colorful. So that's how far I am on this one. And this is all my zebra yarn stash. So I'm not quite halfway done with the third strip yet, but we're getting there. And as you can see, I finished off with this end and I'm starting working down this end instead of going up the other side. The reason I'm doing that is because I have it planned out in my head how I want to attach the different colors of yarn, because there are some that are very similar in color. So there will be one of those on one side, one of them on the other. And when I get there, you'll see what I'm talking about. So I am working up the opposite end, the opposite way. So that's been a little tricky, but it will allow me to go, I can go up this way, or this way on both sides of the strip after I get this one done. So they'll be in the same direction, I guess, for attaching, or maybe not. Oh yeah, they will. So I would start at this end and add a strip this way, and then I would start here and add a strip that way. So it'll all work out. But I have, I think maybe seven skeins and some minis left. I don't really know off the top of my head how much is left for this blanket, but so what I was talking about earlier with if I keep at the pace that I'm currently working at. So my current plan each month, now that I kind of worked this out, is from the 1st to the 20th of the month, I'm going to work on this daily. So hopefully you can see, the light bulb stitch markers, I have marking basically every 5 grams, roughly. That's about how much 5 grams is for me for this blanket. So if I do 5 grams every 20 days, that's 100 gram skein approximately. And then I will have completed a strip. And I think it's like 36 rows or something, maybe 24, something like that. It's not a lot. It's like, I sit down and watch TV for an hour and I have a little block done. No big deal. At dinner. So for the granny square one, after that, so from the 21st of the month to the end of the month, whatever that is, the 30th or the 31st, then I work on adding 10 grams a day of that, because crochet, as we all know, works up so much faster and works through the yarn a lot quicker. So for me, that was better than trying to do a little bit on both each day, and splitting my focus. Splitting my focus on those projects each day was not working out for me. So this I did last month and it worked out really nice. It was nice because I did the blanket, I did a little bit on it, whatever time of day that was, whether it was morning or afternoon or nighttime, I did that section and I was done with it. And then the rest of the time when I had crafting time, I could work on whatever I wanted to, which was socks, obviously, as we saw, or sewing. So that for me, I think is a good balance. If you're struggling with trying to find the time or what am I trying to say? Just trying to find the right way forward with your projects. If you have a few or multiple ones, I think that's kind of a good idea, is, having a daily goal, like a micro goal, especially on a bigger project. It helps me personally to just know I've done that little bit, and you do see it grow every day. And for me, it's not necessarily 30 minutes of knitting, because it obviously takes me longer than 30 minutes to do that. If I did the 30 minutes a day, it would take me, way longer to do a strip. So I have it planned out as far as like a block, gram. It's by grams for me, but for you, it could be rows or rounds or something like that. And that really helps you to be able to say, I worked on this project for a little bit, I'm done. Now I'm going to go work on the other, things that are catching my attention that might be quicker projects for me, which are socks. So I'm definitely enjoying that rhythm, and I think I'm going to stick with that for a while, because I do have other blankets that I want to start or redo or whatever once these are done. But I want to make sure these get done before I even think about starting those, because that would just be chaos. So I'm not into that. I need order. I need routine, all that good stuff. All right, so that's going to be it for today. That's all of my projects that I'm currently working on or finished. It was a crazy month and it was wonderful, and I can't wait to see what March brings us in the way of projects. And let me know what you guys are working on down below. Do you have anything specific that you want to get done this month? I would love to hear about it. And make sure you hit the like button if you like this video. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!